We are on a 10-mile out and back trail run that starts on the Año Nuevo side of Big Basin State Park, heads up past Chalks Mountain. Didn't capture any footage on the first stretch of the run up the mountain through the redwood forest, but this is the first vista point that you get. If you want to know what trail I'm taking, I think I'll let you figure that out. It's sort of the non-Waddell Beach entrance, sort of the back door to the Big Basin from the west. This is some pretty typical Big Basin ridgetop. It's got this phosphorus white sandstone trail. You sort of move through coyote bush and knobcone pine. The knobcone pine are often covered in this Spanish moss, which gives it this sort of beautiful, wispy, ancient look to it or something. It smells really good. Has this extremely pleasant, evergreen, sweet scent. This is Chalks Road. I'll follow this for a while. You get pretty great views along the ridge. To the west here, or to the north rather, is San Mateo County, and to the right is Big Basin, Santa Cruz County. Dipped down on a road to filter some water to drink, but it got this private property sign, so kind of figured that would happen and turned around and decided to go back. This is the valley where you'll find Waddell Creek, which runs from the Santa Cruz Mountains all the way down to the Pacific Ocean. Kind of makes up the backbone of Big Basin State Park. Some Doug firs. On the way back, the light was getting really good. So off in the distance, you can see Año Nuevo State Park in the Pacific Ocean. This is testing out the hyperlapse function on the Gopro Hero 8. You sort of leave it running for a while and it compiles it. Looks like this. What I like about it is it gives this great sense of elevation gain and loss over time, which is harder to capture when you're recording normally. So you kind of charge up these hills for long periods of time and it feels really good. It's challenging, but it's rewarding. Along the way you have some optional vista points, and this is one of them. It was just a little bit hazy, had this yellowish tint to it that I think might be because of the fires up north. It's still very beautiful. This is fun. It's kind of fun to sort of indulge in downhills once in a while. Kind of let yourself go. Let gravity allow you to speed up. And downhills can be tricky, risky. It's hard on your knees, hard on your body. Also with trail running, it increases your chances of making a mistake or tripping. But it's sort of fun to let the carriage run away for a little while. And with the inertia, makes charging up these small hills a little easier. You kind of get motivated and push a little harder. So it's fun. The light gets really dramatic late in the day like this. Coming down this way, I remember seeing lots of this big loose gravel and saying to myself, I really don't want to eat shit and die. So I slowed it down a little, sort of reined it in. You can hear my cadence kind of speeds up because my steps get shorter, deliberately trying to slow myself down. I think I'm still learning about the camera, both the optimal settings as well as the camera's limitations. Because as you can see, the clip started out very stable, but as soon as I turned that corner where there was less light, the clip got very unstable. Now, while reviewing the footage, I think I have an idea why. As you can see here, when the camera has enough light, the stabilization works really well, but I think it's a combination of the shutter speed, the frame rate, the max ISO, which I had set at 400, maybe a couple other things, but basically in low light, the stabilization becomes problematic. At this point, I'm pretty ready to get back to the car. My plan to dip down to the creek to filter some water didn't work out, so I was pretty dried out at this point. I was excited to get back to the car because I had a cooler bag with a LaCroix, which after a long run is just the most refreshing thing.
Whoop. Almost died.
Sometimes when you're doing these long runs, for as vigilant as you remain in running safely, you have moments, inescapably, where you miss a step. And you have this sort of momentary brush with a potential outcome or a future where you're running 1 second and the next you're tumbling down a hill. And it's amazing how good you are at sort of avoiding it for the most part. But then you have these certain moments where you just inescapably miss a step. I think those are deer fern. I really like ferns. I don't know, it's like a good sign, or get good vibes when I'm near fern. That light on the hillside late in the day. I'm listening to a Brene Brown audiobook on shame. This kind of gives away my position a little bit, so if you're looking for the trail, this gives a little bit of a clue. And that was my run. Thanks, y'all.